Hello, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Today we're building a small modern bachelor pad, and this is built in the wall of Newcrest on a 20 by 15 lot, if I'm not wrong. To be very honest, I was slightly dreading this build because I don't think I'm good at building houses as compared to renovating apartments. Because for apartments, all you need to do is just figure out the layout. You don't even need to worry about exterior or landscaping. Because for landscaping, it really depends on what kind of houses you're building. So if you're building a modern house like this, I would imagine the landscaping to be neat, simple, and maybe well kept. But if you're building like a family house maybe, then I would imagine it to be slightly overgrown or just overall give off a very cozy vibe. Either way, I know I'm not that fantastic at it. So, yeah. But I told myself that it's time and I need to just dive into it. I remember stumbling upon this quote a week back. So this quote goes, "If you limit your goals to what you know you can achieve, you're setting the bar way too low." This is a quote by Ray Dalio from his book Principles. I haven't actually read it yet, but I've heard pretty good things about it, so maybe I'll read it this year. I mean, I'll read it this month. Yeah, and this is my so-called mantra of the year. I just realized that I've been setting goals that I know I can definitely accomplish, but then there's no thrill or excitement. It's mostly just, yeah, I completed my goal, so what's next? That kind of thing, you know. So for 2022, I told myself that I need to set goals that are uncomfortable, but then there are also those that I feel confident enough to actually achieve. I don't know what overcame me, but I think it's probably because I haven't been feeling like I've been like I don't know, like developing as a person, as an individual. Like I've been stagnant for a really long time. I just didn't see any personal development in 2021. In the beginning of 2021, I started my internship with a web design company and have been working with them for about 8 months. And damn, I had no idea it was going to be so tired. But I remember at the end of my first week, I was so tired that I just slept at 8:30 on a Friday night. Yeah, it has never happened before. Subsequently, after my internship, I took many modules for my second last semester of school. I think I took a total of 6 modules or something. The assignments were never ending. Every 2 weeks, there's something to be submitted. And towards the end of the year, I was pretty much burned out and was just trying to get back all the sleep I lost in school. I mean, for school. You know what I mean. And just basically catching up with friends because like it's the holidays and I haven't met them for a really long time. Yeah. I remember in 2020 during the peak of the pandemic, I was on a roll, man. I was trying new things. I was starting out as a freelance web designer. I was creating websites for my portfolio, getting clients, managing clients and some pretty nasty ones too. And yeah, I have no idea why, but I just reached the slump by the start of 2021. And fast forward now to 2022, the only way I see myself evolve and become a better version of myself is to just step out of my comfort zone and to try new things, just like what I'm doing in this build. Trying to build a house and attempting to do all the landscaping and whatnot. I'm really hoping that you guys will like the landscaping, but even if you don't, you're gonna have to like it. Oh, and since we're on the topic about goals, one of my goals this year is to read 2 books every month. And for January, I have planned to start reading Rich Dad Poor Dad. My friend lent me this book, I think 2 years ago, and I haven't read it since. Yeah, so I'm actually gonna start now for January. I even have a tracker on my planner just to track the days I've read. But guess what? I haven't been reading since the start of the year. To be fair, the first 2 weeks of 2022 were quite busy for me, and I was slowly getting back into routine from all the festivities and celebrations. So yep, still trying to get the hang of it. Maybe I'll start reading the first chapter tonight after I finish this voiceover and publishing this build. But I remember when I was in primary school, I loved reading so much that I was reading under the table throughout all my classes. So my desk mate owns like a huge collection of books. I think she still owns like a huge collection of them now, because I mean we still follow each other on Instagram, so occasionally she'll post things like that, and she's still reading a lot. So I mean it's nice to know that. Yeah, so back then she would always bring me a Nancy Drew book that I would finish in a day. Sometimes I can even like finish 2 books in a day. But yeah, those were the days, man. I think my love for reading started since then, and I think I just gotta thank this deskmate of mine for kickstarting this good habit. Yeah, and if you didn't know, Nancy Drew is like a mystery thriller kind of genre. So, and it has been a favorite of mine ever since then. Right now, some of my favorite thriller authors are Harlan Coben and Tess Garriston. And I'm also into nonfiction, self-development, self-help sort of books. So if you have any recommendations, let me know in the comment section. I would love to see what you guys are reading and what you think will be good for me. One thing for sure, I know I'll be getting Atomic Habits by James Clear maybe next month. I'm still not sure what my second book will be for January, but the first one will definitely be Rich Dad Poor Dad. Thinking whether I want to revisit and like a book I've read before, so still thinking about it. But yeah. Oh wow, I've talked over the kitchen and now we're on to the living space. So this build is a small one, so there are no clear separation between the kitchen and the living space, but I think the layout turned out pretty well. As I was saying earlier, this is a modern bachelor pad for a single sim. You'll see that throughout the build, the interior is quite dark with a lot of browns and blacks, but overall it gives off a very cozy vibe. I had a hard time deciding on a wallpaper, as you can see here. I wanted the interior to be sort of dark, but the kitchen cabinets were already, dark brown. And I also didn't want to have a light wallpaper, so eventually I went ahead with this pale bluish wallpaper that I think matched really well with the decorations, the furniture, and things like that. And this light fixture, I wasn't expecting to use this one, but I think it paired really well with the surroundings, so yes, I went ahead with it. Right now I'm just placing some pictures on the wall. Those I think would suit a modern house, and we'll be moving on to the second level soon, I think, where the bedroom is. And funny story, I actually forgot to give the sim a bathroom, so halfway while I was decorating the second level, after placing down the bed and the bedside tables, I realized I haven't made space for a bathroom. But I didn't want to extend the house any further, and I also didn't want to redecorate the first level. So the bathroom ended up on the second floor. But I think I placed it at a pretty nice spot, just at the corner on the second level with the bed next to it afterwards. And then right outside the bathroom, you have this dresser for the sim. There's a full-length mirror. Okay, not full-length mirror, but there's a huge-ass mirror just for the sim to stare at himself, Anyways, before doing this voiceover, I was scrolling through Instagram and this post appeared on my feed. It's about tips for talking to a camera, and immediately I was like, holy crap, has Instagram been listening to me? But seriously, how tiny can this post be? It is a post by Beyond Conic, I think. I'm sorry if I got that wrong, but basically she goes through the steps to talking to a camera and mentioned how it seemed really awkward and gross just recording herself in the beginning. It took her over a year and a half of practicing every day and starting a YouTube channel till she became confident and better at it. I'll put a link to a post in the description box below. So her first tip is to create a script. I just came up with a list of topics that I want to cover in this voiceover, and I put in some pointers just to guide me through it. The second tip is to speak up. I think in my last two voiceovers I was quite soft, maybe because I was recording in the night and I didn't want to wake anybody up, or it could be I was just nervous and awkward. But I think I do sound more confident in this voiceover, and that's a good start. The next tip is to be yourself. She mentioned that it is likely we will put on an accent, which I totally agree. But it's normal, and as we keep doing more of these videos and voiceovers, we will eventually develop our own personality. I can't wait for that. Next is to practice 3 times before recording, just to make sure you find the right tone and balance. And it's also good to record yourself in a comfortable setting. That could be in your bedroom or bathroom. For me, I'm just doing it in my bedroom with some cozy lights on, a very dark setting. It really puts me into the mood to do this voiceover. And it's alright to mess up the video or the voiceover. Practice makes perfect. Lastly is to just jump right into it. If we don't push ourselves out of our comfort zone, we will never do it. Starting is always going to be the hardest part, but once you start, everything will just flow easily. So if you're just starting on YouTube like me, I hope this post comes in handy for you just like how it did for me. Right now, the second level is slowly coming together. I gave this sim a desk and a computer. I have no idea what he does for a living. He could be a freelancer, he could be a bartender, he could be a very rich sim who inherited his grandparents' fortune, and maybe he decided to live in a small and modern bachelor pad. Oh, and I gave him a balcony on the outside just so he can enjoy the view and the breeze outside while sipping on his coffee or wine. I'm not sure if I included the part where I decorated the balcony, but there will be screenshots at the end, so you'll still get to see them. Don't worry. I've cut out quite a bit of this build because I was really indecisive with a lot of things. I kept jumping back and forth the interior and the exterior because I just didn't know what to do with it. For the most part, I think I was just nervous as heck, but hey, this year it's all about stepping out of your comfort zone and trying out new things. So right now you can see that I'm working on the exterior. To be honest, I was really confused with a lot of things, and halfway through the build I had to stop and look for guides on how to work on the exterior. I even went on Pinterest to get inspiration, but I didn't really find any ones that I think would suit this house. So eventually I just went ahead with my own imagination. I'm not sure what I think of the exterior, but I'm going to look at more pictures on Pinterest and maybe even websites in Singapore just to get inspiration. Random fact, I realized most of my inspirations come to me while I'm on a run. I guess this is a sign that I need to be running regularly. So this sim has an outdoor grill where I imagine he will definitely use when he invites his friends over to hang out. I also gave him a sitting area with an umbrella. It may not be enough for them, but I'm sure they can find this. I'm sure they can find a space if needed. They can always lounge in the pool if they need to or if they want to. They just have to bring a float and they can chill in the pool. Pretty much afterwards, the most part of this video is just me doing touch-ups here and there, of course being indecisive as well. I wonder if anybody else plays The Sims 4 on a MacBook, because I am. Honestly, it works fine for me, at least for now. I got a new MacBook Air in September last year. When I started playing The Sims, I was using my old MacBook Air from 2017 with very, very little memory. So you can imagine how hard it was to download packs to play with. Now I'm just thankful to be able to build with more packs, but there are still downsides. First, my battery drains really fast, and secondly, creating these videos take up a lot of memory space on my laptop. Just today I was so frustrated at myself because I couldn't figure out why my files on my desktop, after uploading them to iCloud Drive, would still disappear in my iCloud Drive when I moved them to the trash. I think I spent a solid 20 minutes on Google and trying to figure it out myself. Eventually, I just FaceTimed my boyfriend to tell him how annoyed I was while trying to save my previous 2 videos to my hard drive. And guess what? He helped me figure out what was wrong. Basically, I was saving the files to the desktop folder on my iCloud Drive when I was just supposed to save it outside of the desktop folder. So, yeah, got that figured out. Yay! Anyways, we're coming to the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed my modern bachelor pad, and feel free to let me know any suggestions you have for the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications button so you'll be notified each time I post a new video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!